On a busy street in Lagos, Nigeria, billionaire Mr. Ode drives his luxury car past crowds of people hustling in the scorching afternoon sun. As he slows down at a traffic light, he notices a young beggar, Tunde, standing by the sidewalk. The boy's clothes are torn, and his hands are stretched out, hoping for a little help. Mr. Ode feels a pang of sadness looking at Tunde, who seems no older than 20, and decides to approach him. He rolls down his window, and the young man steps closer, surprised that such an important man would notice him. "What's your story, young man?" Mr. Ode asks, his voice warm and kind. Tunde, though hesitant, explains his dream of becoming a doctor and leaving the streets. He shares that he was forced to beg because he had no one to help him and had run out of options. But even as he speaks, Mr. Ode sees a spark of determination in his eyes. Moved by Tunde's spirit, Mr. Ode reaches into his wallet and hands Tunde $800, a generous gift that could be a lifeline. Tunde's eyes widen in disbelief, and with tears in his eyes, he thanks Mr. Ode, promising to use the money wisely. Mr. Ode nods, wishing Tunde well and driving off, little knowing that this simple act of kindness would come back to him in ways he could never expect. With the $800, Tunde decides to change his life completely. He rents a small, simple room in a rundown area of Lagos, feeling relieved to finally have a place to call home. For the first time in a long while, he sleeps on a bed instead of the cold ground. He uses a part of the money to buy a few essentials and even saves a little for future expenses. With every step he takes, he remembers Mr. Ode's words, feeling motivated to make the most of the gift he's been given. The next day, Tunde enrolls in evening classes to prepare for the exams he'll need to get into medical school. His nights are now filled with hours of studying, and during the day, he takes on odd jobs to pay for his food and books. His life is still tough, but he feels a new sense of purpose. Each time he grows weary, he remembers Mr. Ode's faith in him, and that faith gives him the strength to push on, knowing that his dream of becoming a doctor is slowly taking shape. As the months pass, Tunde's hard work begins to pay off. He passes his exams with flying colors and gains admission into a local university to study medicine. The joy he feels is indescribable. He is finally on the path he had dreamed about for so long. Yet, he knows the road ahead will be challenging. Medical school requires not only hard work but also funds, and Tunde is prepared to continue working odd jobs to make ends meet. Each job brings him closer to his goal, and he never once loses sight of the reason he started this journey. In school, Tunde excels. His professors are impressed by his dedication and hunger for knowledge, and his classmates admire his determination. Many of them come from wealthy families, but Tunde stands out because of his background. Despite the challenges, he remains humble, grateful for every opportunity and every person who has helped him along the way. His gratitude for Mr. Ode's kindness only grows as he continues to move forward, never forgetting the man who helped him take his first step. Years go by, and Tunde is nearing the end of his studies. He has gained a reputation for being one of the most dedicated students in his class, known for his compassion and resilience. But medical school is draining him financially, and there are times when he fears he might have to drop out. Even so, Tunde refuses to give up, holding on to the belief that he will make it to the end, no matter how difficult the journey becomes. One day, a professor who knows of Tunde's struggles pulls him aside. The professor has heard of Tunde's background and offers to connect him with a small scholarship fund. Tunde's heart swells with gratitude as he realizes that there are more people willing to help him succeed. With this scholarship, he is able to afford his final year's fees, and his path to becoming a doctor becomes even clearer. He dedicates himself fully to his studies, determined to make everyone who believed in him proud. Finally, after years of struggle and sacrifice, Tunde graduates as a doctor. His heart overflows with gratitude as he stands on the stage during the graduation ceremony, accepting his certificate. He reflects on his journey from a beggar on the streets to a doctor, and his heart fills with a sense of pride and accomplishment. He knows that his journey wouldn't have been possible without the kindness of Mr. Ode, who gave him hope when he had none. After graduation, Tunde decides to work in a government hospital, eager to help people who are struggling, just as he once did. His dedication and compassion quickly earn him the respect of his colleagues and patients alike. For Tunde, Each patient he treats is a reminder of his past, and he works tirelessly to give them the best care he can, seeing his work as a way of giving back. Meanwhile, Mr. Ode continues his life, unaware of Ton's progress. Years have passed since the day he gave Ton the $800, and he has nearly forgotten the young beggar he once helped. His business continues to flourish, and he remains one of the wealthiest men in Lagos. But Mr. Ode has also begun to feel the weight of his age and finds himself dealing with health issues. One day, Mr. Ode suddenly collapses during a business meeting. His colleagues rush him to the hospital, but they are met with a closed door. Nigerian doctors have gone on strike, and all the government hospitals are empty. His staff tries to find a private doctor, but due to the widespread strike, they struggle to find anyone willing to treat him. Mr. Ade's life hangs in the balance as he lies helpless, awaiting the care he so desperately needs. Word of Mr. Ade's condition spreads quickly, and people are worried about his fate. His family and friends reach out to every contact they know, desperately searching for someone to help him. In the midst of the panic, someone remembers Dr. Tunde, a young and compassionate doctor who might be willing to help despite the ongoing strike. They contact Tunde, explaining the situation and pleading for his assistance. When Tunde hears Mr. Ade's name, he's stunned. He realizes that this is the same man who changed his life all those years ago. Tunde feels a surge of gratitude and determination. He knows he has to help. Without a second thought, he agrees to take on the case, knowing this is his chance to repay the man who had once shown him kindness when no one else would. Tunde arrives at Mr. Ade's home, where he finds the billionaire lying weak and pale. The situation is critical, but Tunde remains calm, his training guiding him as he assesses Mr. Ade's condition. As he begins his treatment, he feels a mixture of emotions, gratitude, determination, and even pride. Here he is, a doctor now, helping the man who once saved him. Mr. Ode doesn't recognize him at first, but he senses Tunde's warmth and dedication. As Tunde walks, Mr. Ode slowly starts to regain his strength. The billionaire is amazed by the young doctor's skill and kindness. It's only later, when Tunde tells him his story, that Mr. Ode realizes who this doctor really is. He remembers the beggar on the street, the $800 he had given, and how this young man had promised to make something of himself. Mr. Ade's eyes fill with tears, overwhelmed by the incredible twist of fate that has brought them together again. As Tunde continues to care for Mr. Ode, the two men share stories and memories, building a new bond that goes beyond gratitude. Mr. Ode is amazed by Tunde's journey and expresses his pride in the young doctor's accomplishments. Tunde, in turn, thanks Mr. Ode for the kindness he showed him years ago, explaining how it was the spark that fueled his success. Mr. Ode is humbled, realizing that a simple act of generosity can truly change someone's life. In the days that follow, Tunde stays by Mr. Ade's side, refusing to leave until he's fully recovered. Mr. Ade's family is deeply grateful for Tunde's dedication, knowing that he went above and beyond during the difficult strike period. Tunde's selflessness inspires everyone around him, and his story begins to spread, reaching people across the city who are moved by his journey and his heart. With Mr. Ode now fully recovered, he decides to express his gratitude in a way that honors Tunde's selfless dedication. He offers Tunde a substantial sum of money as a reward for saving his life, but Tunde humbly declines, explaining that helping Mr. Ode was his way of repaying the kindness shown to him. Mr. Ode is deeply touched by Tunde's humility, realizing that Tunde's character and values make him truly extraordinary. Instead, Mr. Ode comes up with another idea. He decides to fund a medical clinic in a poor neighborhood, naming it after Tunde as a tribute to his resilience and generosity. Tunde is overwhelmed by the gesture, grateful for the opportunity to help even more people. Together, they launch the clinic, and it becomes a place of hope for the community, symbolizing how one small act of kindness can ripple into something far greater than anyone could imagine. With the new clinic established, Tunde becomes a prominent figure in the community, known for his dedication to providing care for those in need. The clinic quickly gains popularity, drawing people from different areas who come to seek help. Tunde works tirelessly, often staying late into the night to ensure that every patient is seen. His passion for helping people brings hope to the community, and soon, stories of his kindness and skill spread far and wide. Mr. Ode frequently visits the clinic, humbled by the difference Tunde is making. Each time he sees Tunde in action, he is reminded of how a simple gift transformed this young man's life. He feels immense pride, knowing he played a small part in Tunde's success. The two men become close friends, often sharing meals and stories, with Mr. Ode marveling at how far Tunde has come since that fateful day on the street. Despite his success, Tunde remains humble, always reminding himself of his past struggles. He takes time to mentor young people in the community, especially those who remind him of his younger self. He shares his story with them, encouraging them to believe in themselves and work hard. Many of these young people look up to him, inspired by his journey from a beggar to a doctor, and they start to dream big, hoping to one day make a difference too. One evening, Mr. Ode invites Tunde to a dinner with several influential people in Lagos. Tunde, though initially shy, attends, and to his surprise, he is warmly welcomed. Mr. Ode introduces him as the doctor who saved his life, and Tunde's humility and dedication impress everyone present. Some of the guests express their admiration and offer to support his clinic. Tunde feels deeply grateful, realizing that his journey has opened doors he once thought were unreachable. As the clinic's reputation grows, more people begin to donate, enabling Tunde to expand the services offered. He hires additional staff, including nurses and assistants, and he can finally provide free care to even more people. Tunde's heart swells with gratitude as he watches his dream unfold before him, knowing that the kindness of strangers, including Mr. Ode, has brought him to this moment. Mr. Ode, seeing how much the clinic means to Tunde, decides to go a step further. He surprises Tunde with an offer to establish a scholarship fund for underprivileged students aspiring to become doctors. Tunde is overjoyed, knowing this fund will help young people who might otherwise be forced to give up on their dreams. He agrees wholeheartedly, feeling grateful that his journey can now inspire others to pursue their passions. The scholarship fund quickly attracts attention, and soon students from poor backgrounds across Lagos begin to apply. Tunde takes a personal interest in reviewing each application, remembering the struggles he faced as a student. He selects several deserving young people and personally meets with each one to offer them encouragement. They thank him with gratitude and admiration, and Tunde feels a deep sense of fulfillment as he sees their hope rekindled. Meanwhile, Mr. Ade's health continues to improve, and he enjoys watching the clinic and scholarship fund grow. He often visits Tunde to offer his support, marveling at how this young doctor has given back so generously. The two men have formed a bond that feels like family, and they continue to support each other, knowing their lives are intertwined by destiny. One day, a journalist hears about Tunde's inspiring story and decides to write an article about him. The article, titled From Beggar to Doctor, is published in a prominent newspaper, and Tunde's story quickly gains national attention. People from all over Nigeria read about his journey and are inspired by his resilience and determination. Many readers send letters to the clinic, expressing their admiration and pledging donations to support his work. As Tunde reads through the letters, he feels overwhelmed by the outpouring of love and support. He realizes that his journey has touched countless lives, and he feels more motivated than ever to continue his work. The donations enable him to expand the clinic even further, offering more specialized treatments that were previously unavailable. Tunde's dream of helping his community is becoming a reality beyond anything he had ever imagined. With his story spreading far and wide, Tunde receives invitations to speak at events and conferences. Though nervous at first, he agrees, seeing it as a chance to encourage others. He shares his journey with audiences, always emphasizing the kindness of Mr. Ode and how a single act of generosity transformed his life. His words move people to tears, and many are inspired to give back in their own ways. Mr. Ode, proud of Tunde's accomplishments, attends several of these events. Watching Tunde on stage, he feels a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that his small act of kindness has blossomed into something extraordinary. He is proud to see Tunde using his platform to encourage compassion and generosity, and he knows that Tunde's impact will be felt for generations. As Tunde's influence grows, he begins to collaborate with other clinics and hospitals, forming partnerships to improve healthcare access for underserved communities. He organizes medical outreach programs that provide free checkups and treatments to people in remote areas who have limited access to medical services. His team works tirelessly, reaching hundreds of people who are grateful for the care they receive. During one of these outreach programs, Tunde meets a young boy named Chike who reminds him of his younger self. Chike shares his dream of becoming a doctor, and Tunde feels a strong connection to him. He encourages Chike to never give up and even promises to support him in his studies if he ever needs help. Chike's eyes light up with hope, and Tunde feels fulfilled, knowing he has passed on the kindness he once received. As the years go by, Tunde's clinic becomes a staple in the community, and his work continues to inspire others. He receives numerous awards and honors for his contributions to healthcare, but he remains humble, always remembering his journey from the streets to where he is now. He attributes his success to the kindness of people like Mr. Ode, who believed in him when he was just a young beggar with a dream. Tunde's clinic has now helped thousands of people, and his scholarship fund has supported many students who are now pursuing their own dreams. Each success story brings Tunde a sense of fulfillment, knowing that he has made a difference in their lives. His journey has come full circle, and he is content, knowing he is living the life he once dreamed of. As Tunde's clinic continues to thrive, people from neighboring cities come to seek his help, grateful for the care he offers. Tunde has become a respected figure not only in his community but across Lagos and beyond. He is frequently invited to medical conferences, where he shares his story and insights with young doctors. Many are inspired by his humble beginnings and dedication to helping those in need, and they too feel motivated to give back. One day, a government official visits Tunde's clinic to see his work firsthand. Impressed by the impact Tunde has made, the official offers to help him expand his outreach programs. With additional resources, Tunde can now reach even more people in rural areas, providing free medical care to communities that previously had little access to healthcare. Tunde feels grateful, knowing his efforts are making a difference on an even larger scale. Mr. Ode watches with pride as Tunde's influence grows. Their friendship has deepened over the years, and Mr. Ode considers Tunde like a son. Reflecting on their journey, Mr. Ode feels grateful for the day he decided to help a young beggar on the street. He sees the ripple effect of his small act of kindness and knows that it has transformed many lives. Tunde often thanks Mr. Ode for believing in him, but Mr. Ode insists that Tunde's hard work and dedication are what made his success possible. In one of their conversations, Mr. Ode suggests that Tunde consider establishing clinics in other cities across Nigeria, knowing there are many underserved communities that could benefit from his care. Tunde is thrilled by the idea and begins to plan, determined to carry his mission forward. His dream has grown beyond anything he once imagined, and he's excited to bring hope and healing to even more people. Over the next few months, Tunde works tirelessly to bring his vision to life. He establishes partnerships with local governments, non-profits, and other healthcare providers, all of whom support his mission. With the help of these new alliances, he is able to open additional clinics in nearby towns, each one modeled after his original clinic. These clinics provide free or affordable care to everyone, especially those who cannot afford it. Tunde's outreach programs become more extensive, reaching thousands of people who had previously lacked access to basic healthcare. News of his work spreads even further, and people across the country recognize him as a symbol of compassion and resilience. Tunde's heart swells with pride as he sees his dream touching so many lives, grateful for the journey that brought him to this point. At a community event, Tunde is honored with an award recognizing his dedication to improving healthcare access. Mr. Ode proudly attends, smiling as he watches Tunde accept the award. Tunde's speech is simple but powerful. He expresses gratitude to everyone who has supported him, especially Mr. Ode. He emphasizes the importance of kindness and how one small act can change lives. The audience is moved, and many people leave feeling inspired to spread kindness in their own ways. As Tunde and Mr. Ode share a moment after the ceremony, they reminisce about the day they first met. Mr. Ode admits that helping Tunde was one of the best decisions he ever made, and Tunde thanks him again for believing in him. Their bond has grown into something profound, a friendship that neither of them could have foreseen but both cherish deeply. As Tunde's work continues to gain national recognition, he is invited to meet with influential leaders, including government officials who seek his advice on improving healthcare policies. Tunde humbly shares his experiences, emphasizing the need for accessible healthcare in all communities. His insights resonate with the officials, and they consider implementing policies that would benefit underserved populations across the country. In the meantime, Tunde's clinics expand their services to include health education programs, teaching communities about preventive care and wellness. Tunde believes that educating people about health is as important as treating illnesses. The communities respond positively, attending workshops and applying what they learn in their daily lives. Tunde feels proud to see people taking charge of their health, knowing that his efforts have empowered them. One evening, as Tunde reflects on his journey, he decides to write a book about his life story. He hopes his experiences will inspire others to believe in themselves and show kindness to those in need. The book, titled A Doctor's Journey, chronicles his rise from a young beggar on the streets of Lagos to a doctor who has touched countless lives. As he writes, he feels grateful for every challenge he faced, knowing that each one taught him something valuable. When the book is published, it becomes a bestseller across Nigeria. People of all ages read his story, finding hope and motivation in his words. Many readers are inspired to help others, and some even reach out to Tunde, sharing their own dreams and struggles. Tunde is moved by their stories, realizing that his journey has sparked hope in the hearts of others, just as Mr. Ode once sparked hope in him. One day, Tunde receives a letter from a young man named Connor, who writes about his own struggles with poverty and his dream of becoming a doctor. Tunde sees himself in Connor and feels a deep sense of empathy. He decides to mentor the young man, providing guidance and support to help him achieve his goals. Connor's determination and passion remind Tunde of his own journey, and he is honored to play a role in the young man's life. Connor works hard under Tunde's mentorship, and over time, he becomes a close part of Tunde's life. Tunde watches proudly as Connor overcomes his challenges, filled with hope for the future. Tunde feels that his journey has come full circle. Just as Mr. Ode had helped him, he now has the opportunity to help Connor. Their bond grows, and Tunde feels grateful to be able to pass on the kindness he once received. Tunde's clinic continues to grow, and he remains deeply committed to his community. One evening, during a casual dinner with Mr. Ode, they discuss their journey and all the lives they've touched together. Mr. Ode expresses his pride in Tunde and encourages him to keep inspiring others. Their friendship is a testament to the power of kindness, and they both feel grateful for the bond they share. Tunde knows he still has more to accomplish, and he remains motivated to continue his work. As they laugh and share stories, Tunde realizes how far he has come and how much he has gained through his friendship with Mr. Ode. He is reminded of the importance of gratitude and the beauty of life's unexpected twists. As Tunde helps Connor through his medical studies, he sees how dedicated Connor is to following in his footsteps. Connor is hardworking, compassionate, and always eager to learn. Tunde takes pride in watching Connor grow into a capable young man, realizing that helping him is like honoring his own journey. Tunde often tells Connor stories of his early days, reminding him that every challenge will only make him stronger. Connor's progress inspires Tunde's staff and the patients they serve. He quickly becomes well-loved at the clinic, known for his kindness and patience with everyone he meets. The community sees Tunde's mentorship as a continuation of the compassion and generosity he's shown them for years, and many people come to the clinic, eager to see the young man Tunde has taken under his wing. One day, Connor and Tunde are working together when a familiar face walks into the clinic. It's an elderly woman who remembers Tunde from his days as a beggar on the streets. She's astonished by his transformation and emotional to see how much he's achieved. The woman tells everyone how Tunde had always been kind, even when he had nothing, and expresses her joy at his success. Tunde listens with a humble smile, feeling grateful for the journey that has brought him to this point. He explains to Connor that kindness can create powerful connections and that even small acts of generosity have a way of coming back in unexpected ways. Connor feels inspired, seeing the deep impact Tunde has made on so many lives. He promises to carry this lesson forward in his own career. With Connor nearing graduation, Tunde feels a sense of fulfillment knowing that he has helped shape another doctor dedicated to serving the community. As they celebrate Connor's achievements, Mr. Ode joins them, proud to see how far both men have come. Tunde expresses his gratitude to Mr. Ode for being his inspiration and support, crediting him for every success he has achieved. Mr. Ode reminds Tunde that his kindness and hard work brought him to where he is now. He encourages Tunde to keep the spirit of compassion alive, to keep inspiring others, and to always remember the importance of giving back. Tunde and Connor both feel uplifted by his words, knowing that they have been given an extraordinary gift, the opportunity to make a difference. Years later, Tunde's clinic has expanded into multiple branches across Nigeria, each one dedicated to providing affordable healthcare to underserved communities. Connor now runs one of these clinics, and together with Tunde, they continue to inspire and mentor young doctors. Their story has become well known across Nigeria, and many people reach out to share how it has inspired them to act with kindness. Tunde reflects on his journey with a heart full of gratitude. He's gone from a beggar on the streets to a doctor impacting thousands of lives, all because of one man's small act of kindness. He and Mr. Ode often talk about how their lives have intertwined in ways they never expected. As Tunde continues to touch lives and nurture a new generation of compassionate doctors, he knows that kindness will always find its way back, creating ripples of hope that reach far and wide.